What go on, my people? It's your host with the most, MC Flames, and you're locked into the Chronicles of Construction. Today, we're not just going to be observing, we're going to be diving head straight into the nation's capital, Abuja. We want to hear from the real MVPs, the real gist, what they have to say about construction. You know who these real MVPs are? It's you. So, see you on the other side. Pow!
One of the biggest challenges first starts with, we're talking about already constructed buildings. The poor construction methods for most buildings around. You find out that a lot of buildings currently, even in town, have severe issues. Capillary actions, water rising, damp rising on the walls, poor plumbing, and then a host of other issues. Probably the grounds were not treated properly, so you have termite infestations in buildings and a whole lot of it, which affects the longevity of those buildings in time. And so getting to do maintenance for such buildings is a Herculean task. And the issue is, it's beyond the Nigerian Institute of Architects. Don't forget, you also have COBON, Council of Registered Builders of Nigeria. Then you have a whole lot of other bodies, what they call them, NSC, the Nigerian, this is a Society for Engineers as well. In Abuja, we have development control. That's where you begin to wonder, what is the role development control is playing when people do development, because they are saddled with that responsibility to go through these buildings. So the question is, what are they really doing? If we're having a lot of poor construction going on in town, what have they really been doing? Facilities, there's a lot to those facilities. One of the first challenges we have, don't have adequate, how should I put it? Access, before you come to maintenance, access for physically challenged individuals. So you find that there are buildings, even government buildings, that people on wheelchairs may not be able to gain access into. It's funny because, especially for government buildings, you must consider the role or the plight of the physically challenged. Now, so that's one. Two, when you now talk about, when you leave those accesses for them, you also talk about muster points for buildings in case of emergencies, fire outbreaks, and in short, a lot of buildings do not have muster points, emergency exits, and all of that. Before we start talking about maintenance of buildings, we already have a poor culture of maintenance of buildings in Nigeria. I know that I think there are rules that state how often buildings should be painted, or treated and looked after and all of that. But the Nigerian culture doesn't support that. Even for government buildings, once they are built, even if there's funds adequately put for those maintenance, they are usually not done. Somebody eats it, or they consider that it's too expensive to deal with such things. And then some of the construction methods that have been used makes it even more difficult. Like when you have ducts, instead of having ducts for M&Es, for mechanical, and electrical works, most of them are embedded into concrete. So if you need to do certain repairs, you have to start breaking walls, and that's costly to some extent. So you find that some buildings, even when they have to do maintenance, they begin to deface the building. And it's possibly, maybe we should go back and look at our facility management for buildings, pre-existing buildings, government buildings, and then maybe it would help us, but it's a culture we have to imbibe.
Yes, you just heard it. There are a lot in place to putting a building together, and it's not just about those buildings, about maintaining it. And that's where, of course, the top tier facility management company CYFT comes into play. They make sure that your buildings don't just run, but they run smoothly and looking new every year in, year out, making you feel less worried about your building. Focus on your work. Let CYFT do the trick for you. For our next generation leaders, this is the question for you. So when you think about buildings and constructions and how they are designed, what excites you the most about the future? Is it more technology or more innovations?
What excites me about the future is the use of tech, the use of AI in design of smart spaces, smart cities, and smart houses.
Guess what? That's actually the future we are stepping into at the moment. That's the whole essence of our digital build segment, where we'll be exploring how technology and innovations come into play in making these buildings work. And that's where our next generation leaders will take the real lead, that particular segment. Quick question for you, Ma.
Okay.
Looking around buildings, in Abuja, structures and all of that, these beautiful buildings, what really catches your fancy? Is it the designs, the look? What exactly?
What really attracts me is the external finishing, something with good texture. When you're coming from far and you spot that building, be like, yeah, I love that. You see, who's the architect that did that work? To me, that's it.
So that means you're actually talking about putting the extra sauce.
Yeah.
That's where our partners FlexiClay come into play. These guys are revolutionizing these special materials made from clay, giving you that perfect cladding designs, making it those buildings stand out, and not just stand out, looking beautifully well and last very strong. With these flexible clay materials, trust me, FlexiClay is your go-to plug. Also, Ma, when you see a really impressive building, what does it tell you about the people who put it together? Does quality speak volumes in it?
Yeah, to me, I would just say professionalism, vision, integrity. Yeah.
Speaking of professionalism, integrity and all of that, that's where, the Nigerian Institute of Architects Abuja chapter comes into play. These guys are the guardians of standards. They ensure that these buildings are not just built on mere pretty looks, but built on integrity, built with trust, with the right standards. And what's a good building without trust? What's a good structure without integrity? Wagwan, my people, is your host to the most, MC Flames, and you know where you're locked into the Chronicles of Construction. We're here at the building material market.
My name is Mr. Emeka Henry originally. Yeah, I'm a businessman. I live in Abuja, and my business is here in EDA Plaza, Jabi, Abuja, opposite Chida Hotel. We have a very good quality on our products. We have Nigeria products and foreign products imported, and there are different prices on them. We have boards, slim boards, we have asbestos boards, we have POP boards, we have POP ceiling, we have fillers. All these things is for ceiling. They're all meant for ceiling. We have sea white, we have first POP, we have premium jigs. If you look around, you can see everything that you use and do your ceiling perfect. Batten, if you are casting your ceiling, we have screening paints. We have paints after casting your ceiling, what you use to screen it. My POP have crack, my ceiling have crack. All the things will be dealt with. We have materials for all, any type you look for. My shop number is 002 EDA Plaza, Abuja, opposite Chida Hotel. My phone number 080-3630-9580.
Now you heard something he said. He said no cracking, no peeling, and that's where Broadmind Special Project comes in. For you to have that zero peeling, that those cracks You don't need to worry about those things anymore because you have Broadmind special project in charge of this for any kind of ceiling. I mean, here are the magnificent materials used for this project. So feel free, relax, not to worry. Your ceilings, we got you covered. Abuja have spoken loud and clear. You've heard it. From wanting very good, strong ceilings to building magnificent stadiums to maintaining facilities and all of that. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Viewers out there, of course, it has been an amazing event. You've heard it. Words are very stronger and makes our bond even better. Shout out to our very amazing partners, Broadmind Special Projects, for that ceilings we guarantee your go-to plug. And also a big shout out to our very own FlexiClay for those amazing finishes like never before. You know who to call. And we want to give a big shout out also to our very wonderful supporters and partners, the Nigerian Institute of Architects Abuja chapter. We uphold your integrity and we recognize it strong and tall. Reform Group, thank you for building amazing sports reforms and all of that. Pow! Hey people, so you've heard all of this. Do you want to actually deep dive into this talk? You want to hear from the professionals themselves while they dissect these discussions? I mean, if you want to do that, please join our very professional team and David and Christine Akume on our podcast segment. To do this, please follow us on YouTube at The Chronicles of Construction. Please subscribe, turn on the notification button so that you can get notified when our programs come up. And please also on other social media platforms, we ask that you please follow us. On Facebook, please follow us at BroadmindBNG. And of course, on TikTok, broadmind.special. And on Instagram, it is broadmindSPL. Any of these platforms, kindly join us and you definitely enjoy the moment with us. You don't want to miss any of these programs. It is The Chronicles of Construction, brought to you proudly by Broadmind Special Projects. To contact us and any further information, kindly follow the instructions on your screen.